Hello guys, and we are continuing playing Shining Song Starnova, right back where we left off. Now, we left off with the girls changing to bikinis because of they need to measure their boob size and stuff like that. So, let's just continue. That producer up to no good. I recognize his face back from when I was with Golden Calf. Even though we've never talked personally, all the men who work there are the same. He'll sucker us with big promises like we'll be famous and have millions of fans, and he'll probably go on and about how he can get us lives and how great the idols he produces turns out. And then he'll make us sign a bunch of fishy contracts, and that's when the nice guy act will end. He'll force us to do this and that, topless photo shots, make us eat bugs on live television, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Who knows what new punishment game they'll devise next. And after he's through with us, he'll just cut us loose and say things like, "You're just not fresh enough anymore." Heh. Away from the eyes of the producer, Aki's personality had completely transformed. We all know Maria's not cut out for this sort of work. What's wrong with putting ourselves out there? I say bring on the revealing photo shots. I'll pose with my boobs cupped in my hands 1,000 times if it means I get a stand on the stage. Oof. Now she actually has a playing personality. I didn't actually. An idol who is scared of fan service doesn't deserve to be an idol at all. Aki's got a point. Just cause Maria screwed up her shoot to become an idol doesn't mean that she has to run for it for the rest of us. You don't even know half of what it's like. Could it be that Aki-chan doesn't mind posing topless just cause she doesn't have nothing to hide up there? You always have to open your mouth. Yeah. A flat chest is an appeal point in today's market. Aki let her bar drop and puffed out her chest with pride. Wow. Censor! True enough, her chest was nothing to write home about. Her little mounds were but little mochi cakes next to Nemu's jugs of wonder. And the writer of this is like, oof, very descriptive. I like it. Very good writing. I've skipped drinking milk for the past 6 years just for my plans. Everyone? The ghost turned to face Asami, surprised that the usually quiet girl had spoken. Producer's not a bad guy. I think we should trust him. Girls who trust others so easily get eaten alive in this industry, you know? Eaten alive? No, actually. I know the producer's back from when we both worked at the Golden Calf. Eh? Then why didn't you say something earlier? Well, it's not exactly like we know each other well. In fact, I've only met him once. Once? And you think we should trust him just because of that? You're just... Anyways, that one time was enough for me to believe he's not a bad guy. Just what makes you think that? I think this is what happened, that he saved her from suicide when she fell down. And that's why she trusts him. Bit obvious there, but yeah. Well, Sasami's voice trailed off. ... Oh well, maybe Sasa-chan confessed to the producer that one time? No, that's not it. Natan. Figures. With that, the girls finished putting on the swimsuits and measuring themselves. The discussion left unresolved. The Shining Productions office consisted of just a small break room and the main office. There was a separate dance studio on the first floor of the tenement, of which the office led least for practices. Overall, we had an absolute minimum level of facilities required to run an idol agency. The Golden Calf offices where I used to work had floors upon floors of photo stages, various sets of used shooting PFs, and a well-facilitated for talents such as spare pools and restaurants. Compared to all that, we essentially worked in a squalor. I sat at my desk located at one of the corners of the office space and reviewed the girls. The physical examinations was mostly to check for obvious problems with the talents' physical appearances. Large birthmarks, stretch marks, scars, etc. It reduced the candidate's commercial value, and so every talent had to be screened for such defects. And again, with those judgmental looks, I'm just producer doing his job. Those put those pitchforks down. A row of girls dressed in swimsuits stood before my desk. Oof. Just starting off with the fan service. Pretty good. Pretty good. I want to know more about her. If she is playing it, or if she actually has this evil mind personality. No, not this evil mind, but this role-playing personality, you know? Because Aki is very obviously playing it. By what we saw like 1 minute ago. And Mr. Producer, please slowly rotate yourself so I can get a clear view of you at every angle. The girls did as I asked. Didn't seem like any of them had any problems, not like I anticipated any. As one could expect from girls applying to be idols, each of their bodies had their respective charm. There was no question that the average man on the street would be overjoyed to have any one of these girls even expressed interest. You want Aki-chan to get into a sexy pose for you? No, that won't be necessary. Okay, looks like everyone passes. You can go ahead and get dressed now. Over already? And I got all excited to get into a swimsuit. Kinda made me think, were we all headed to the beach or something? Of course we weren't going to do that in February, you idiot. Figures. Hey, Oni-chan, does this mean that we will be debuting as a unit? Aki poked her head into my personal space by leaning on my desk. That's currently in the planning stages. For now, the presumption is that all even of you will be working together in the same unit. Of course, that does not rule the possibility of subunits or solo works as well. Maybe Aki's going solo. In other words, nothing much has been decided, huh? The girls lingered in their swimsuits, apparently too focused on asking me questions. I could understand where they were coming from, though. No doubt they all had questions about what was going to happen next. What about photo shoots, radio shows, or television appearances? We were working on that as well. Heh, hurry, Oni-chan. Aki-chan wants to do some sexy gratitude. Aki winked at me up and down, pulling attention to her petite collarbones. Never mind that, we need a debut. How do you pronounce it? Debut song? Before anything? Where are we even going to get a song? I will be preparing that. You? So you have the songwriter lined up? No, actually I'll be writing it. We're gonna write a song, boys! Eh? I may not look like it, but I'm also a composer. Well, would you looking at that, Peacon's a surprisingly talented fellow. I'll have to listen to what he makes before making that judgment. Well, I guess we can get right into the interviews then. Despite the girls still wearing nothing but swimsuits, none of them particularly seemed opposed to continuing the discussion, as expected of idol candidates. As you most likely are aware, our company required all talents to follow a code of conduct. Now, I'd say we were more relaxed than most of the other agencies, but please try to conduct yourself into a manner of befitting future idols. First off, have any of you had any past or current relationships with men? Obviously not. Aki-chan's too young for that. What do you mean? Yeah, not such a loser, never even had a boyfriend before. I can claim no experiences myself. None. Dark Lord is the only man I serve. I can't say I never have. Well, no surprises there, besides even if regards the total players who cycle one guy every week. It's not like any of them were going to confess to the producers right now. The only reason why producers even ask this question is to set up a legally valid claim for fraud if it or later the girls aren't as virginal as they claimed. Oh my, the writer of this is... Mwah. I'm just performing my due diligence to the company. After asking a few more questions and receiving the various generic, non-offensive answers from the girls, the interview concluded. Well, you could say everyone passes. Alright! Wasn't it obvious? We were the only candidates. Now, I've prepared a lesson plan consisting of dance and voice practices. Please devote yourself to the lessons. Understood. I guess we don't really need... guess we don't really have a choice. Alright, let's get to it. Now, please get prepared for the afternoon dance session. The girls eyed me. I should have vacated the premises once more before they changed. The girls stood up around in shorts and t-shirts in the dance studio in preparation for the first lesson. Well, this is a little exciting, isn't it? It feels like that things were finally starting up again. Oh, I wonder what a new dance introduction is gonna be like. I'm a bit bad at doing female voices. I'm trying to sort of like shift by every character, but yeah. I could improve as time goes on. I hope I improve as time goes on. But I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. I hope the instructor not too strict. I entered the room, pushing a cart with a DVD player and a television screen on top. The girls gather around and I push the cart to the front of the studio. Gah, don't tell me. I put a DVD on I put a DVD into the player and turned on the screen on. A recording of a dance instructor played on the television. The DVDs will be your lessons for now. Eh? You mean we won't even have live instruction? Figures. I guess a cheap agency like this wouldn't be able to afford a real instructor after all. Nathan. That girl had one hell of a bout. I mean, I like the country girl. She seemed like one of those provincial blockheads who just spoke off whatever was in their head without a flick of restraint. That hit that close to home, but yeah. I rubbed the back of my head, feeling awkward as hell. Please bear with the individual practices for now. The girls stare at me, their previous enthusiasm went from their eyes. Understood. Meanwhile, the girls slumped through practice with the barest minimum of effort. Everyone signed and changed back into their regular clothes as practice came to an end. Good work, everyone! Everyone murmured good work to each other. Ara, everyone's a little down, aren't they? That goes without saying. Honestly, I'm disappointed. I thought this agency would be better than this. Aren't we really gonna be able to become idols like this? Oh well, it's all cause we messed up our chances before. It's not like we're pretty little youngs anymore. That train already sailed past. Nathan. Whatever. I've got to get to work now. Maria, working 2 jobs? What do you expect? How we're supposed to survive in this town just doing this? Nathan got to work too. What kind of work? Construction! Somehow that sounds like it suits you, Nathan. Wow, gotta build up my muscles. What about you, Sasha-chan? Me? I just help out my parents' business. It's an old karaoke bar. That sounds nice. I just live with my parents. Everything's easier when you're young, huh? Seriously, it's not like I want to, but I don't really have a choice. What about Mika-chan? What about Mika-chan and the rest? This one's friend is devoted in the Black Road. A servant of Black... Cut! A servant of the Black Road does not require healthy enthusiasm and devotion to the path of all this. One needs. In other words, you're just a need, huh? Damn. Well, I guess I could do some other stuff. Like... stuff. Oh, look at the time. I gotta get going. Okay, let's get going. First group went upstairs to say goodbye to me in the office and then exit the office. February 2nd, 2017 morning. Of course, the purpose of a talent agency was to sell its talents. Wherever I record labels, magazines, magazine publishers, television stations, or film studios, I had to be constantly advertising our employees. To that end, I had arranged for a professional photographer to come into our office and take professional portraits of all our workers. I cleared out a section of our office and dropped down a white curtain from the whiteboard to cherry-rig a makeshift photo stage. It was a far cry from the extravagant photo shoots of my previous workplace, but for now this was the best we could do. We just lined up together portraits taken one by one. At least it was the plan. Ugh. Maria, what's the matter? You out drinking late again? I really can't help it. I didn't get out of work till 4 AM. You know, I really don't know how old greasers twice my age can smoke and drink the night away and then show up to work the next day totally fine. Baldy showed up again to complain about his ex-wife, kept ordering whiskey all night long. After the fourth one, I was already feeling kind of out of it. I know what really happened from the seventh. I decided to turn a blind eye to what I was hearing. While certain agencies would no doubt have thrown a hissy fit about one of their talents moonlighting a hostess bar, it was clear all the girls here had their various circumstances. I was no exception myself. Anyways, I knew well enough that the girls here had to supplement their income with additional jobs to survive. Becoming an idol wasn't a walk in the park. The world was spun around according to its own rules, and nobody here was going to change that. First up, Shizumaki-chan. Shimazaki-chan. Butchered that name again. Understood. Sasami stood in front of the camera and put on her best smile. Shimazaki Sasami, formerly with the Golden Calf. She appeared to me as the girl next door kind of persona. Of course, those kind of characters have been popular forever, although in more recent years they suffer from competition with newer and more aggressive character types. It's interesting how it explains all this, honestly. I really do enjoy. Like, it's like I'm reading like Wikipedia on visual novels. Well, not just visual novels in general, it could be like any characters, you know? On anime characters, basically. Basically, they appeal to me more conservative fans who like something traditional. Unfortunately, she was avoiding contact with me at all costs thanks to that incident. Next up, Kashiwagi-san. Watch me! Aki struck a dynamic pose with her figure outstretched towards the camera. Kashiwagi Aki, perhaps the girl with the greatest potential here. While she was obviously going to have to drop her child idol image, she still had ample time left in her prime. It was hard to pin down exactly what her personality was like. She was a shapeshifter, able to play her audience expectations. Honestly, Aki was whoever people wanted her to be. She was a child molded and raised by this industry. Was I supposed to be concerned or proud about that? Mr. Producer, next, Yamato-san. Understood. Maria gingerly stood up and put on a very red-haired smile. Yamato Maria, she had the most experience out of all the talents here, but also came with an assortment of liabilities. She was a former Golden Calf talent, no doubt that threw her under the rug as soon as she outgrew her use. After some research, I discovered she had debuted 7 years ago in the 21-member Quasar unit, but never attained much notoriety. Huge units were like that. Most were set up to encourage infighting among members, and also tried to climb in the coveted top spot while also being unable to survive the bloodbath published into the obscurity. After she turned 24, Golden Calf quietly retired here, and then she won their jobs until she ended up at Shining Productions. Now, she was a jaded woman of 25 years with an alcohol and tobacco problem. While you think something like this could never become an idol, you'd be surprised by just how common these problems were even among popular idols. Hey, I'm not here to sugarcoat this business. I've even seen some crazy stuff myself. Tanabe-san. Yahoo! Nathan leaped up and grinned stupidly to the camera. Tanabe Natsuki, a true wildcat. She had no prior experience in the industry. Honestly, she had a huge mouth which leaked the worst possible words at the worst possible time. However, she had an incredibly fit body and the stamina of a beast. Nowadays, honest girls were popular too. This industry has been spewing out of obedience wife material for decades, and now people want to see girls in their native habitats. Or at least that would be the angle I would use to sell her. Damn! Producer's mind is really interesting the way they wrote it. Understood. Julie flipped her long hair back and smiled confidently. Well, she's the elegant type of girl, you know. Watanabe Julia, a stunningly good-looking spider. Girls like her like poking little stab wounds into men's heart, their fangs dripping tranquilizing venom, a cocktail of both pain and pleasure. According to my research, she had a long history of changing agency due to various reasons, one of which no doubt involved her biting personality. Given how hush-hush her previous employers have been about her, I suspect she's gotten herself into quite a lot of controversy. Ah yes, the great taboo topic of the industry. I best stop here before the powder keg burst. Well, she had the look to become a top idol. What was inside her pretty exterior was another matter entirely. And now she was squarely my responsibility. Frankly, she was beyond what I could handle, so I was more than content to observe what happened next. Hashimoto-san. Mikado stood up and posed in the outlandish fashion. Hashimoto Mikoto. Despite her bizarre personality, I didn't take long to figure out that she was actually the shyest of the group. I'm falling in love with this girl, holy shit. For the most part, she avoided contact with other girls and generally came off as a recluse. Most likely her role-playing as a defense mechanism she used to communicate with others without exposing her real self. Damn, so much likable characters. You know? Like, so much likable characters. Honestly, I think this is gonna be my route. Just by these words, man. Of the writers of this personality, or the writers of her, already off to a good start. Honestly, I'm in love with this. I'm in love with this. While one may be left wondering how a girl like her could ever become a pop sensation, Miko was truly a girl of New Akibara. A recluse with no life, no friends, and an obsession with late-night anime, she was the female embodiment of otakudom. Ah yes, Mika, Mr. Producer, understands you. Oh wait, what was I thinking? Well, I was born and raised Akiba man myself, as you could expect from my current line of work. My job was to be her professional manager and nothing more. Dude, even the main character is in love with her. What the fuck? I put my thoughts to order. Akimoto-san.
Hi.
Yes. Nemu acknowledged me in a singing song manner and smiled obsessively in front of the photo stick. Akimoto Nemu, the daughter of a local real estate magnate. A life of plenty, I had no doubts, made Nemu completely obvious to the spoils of common folk and floated about in her own realm without worrying the world. Looks like I was going to be playing babysitter for the rich now. In any matter, she had a bombshell of a body and a personality made for an idol. For all intents and purposes, I should be glad to have lucked out and picked up a candidate with such high starting stats. Further, having the backing of a rich and powerful family could have benefits. It definitely looked like Nemo was a winner, to the point where somewhere deep inside of me I had to wonder if it was too good to be true. With that, the photograph session was over. After speaking to me, the photograph packed up his equipment and left the office. Hey, Oni-chan, do you have a name for your unit? For our unit? A unit name, huh? We're going to need one if we're going to debut, you know? Aki was certainly right. In fact, I spent the last couple of days thinking about this very topic. Oh, I've been giving it a crack. Nathan opened up a notebook and almost exploding with excitement. How about Sunshine Splash? Too generic. Sunshine Sunday. Why Sunday? Don't know. How about Les Genius Phyllis? Too hard to pronounce. What the hell is that, French? Actually, I've already assigned the unit a name. 7 faces turned towards me. The girls simultaneously leaned into my desk, their face looming over me like 7 carnivores who had just cornered up their prey. I spun my computer monitor over the face of them, revealing a spreadsheet with the word Starnova written on top of it. Starnova? It means new star in Latin. I believed it was a fitting title for a new group. Well, I guess I could live with Starnova. This sounds a bit generic to me. What? Suddenly Natasha stood at attention as if she realized she had left the struggle at her home or something. What? You're scaring me. Starnova, kind of like a supernova, huh? I read about it once, and it's been a star finally reaches the end of a lifespan and explodes in an enormous gapoo! Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Dot dot. Suddenly, I feel 7 pairs of eyes boring into my skull with disdain. Well, I didn't mean it like that. Ya messed up real good there, Peacone? It's over. Our unit name's pretty much the summation of my career into a single word. Everyone! I should have known things would go this way. We'll go with the New Star interpretation instead of that. Understood. Once again, everyone mopped back to work, their motivation idling at the lowest possible bar. The second day of practice ended. Good work, everyone. Good work. Maria turned her cell phone on. Time for work again. Will you be alright? I'm just a waitressing at his izakaya tonight. At least I won't have to stand around listening to some Bob Cheezer's life story or a whiskey tonight. Julie's cell phone chimmed. Looks like that's my cue too. Sasami looked as Julie grabbed her bag and rushed up the office. Alright, let's go for round 2. Maria stretched out her bones, creating and cracking the hustle out of the building as well. Well, it's nighttime. I sat at my desk, illuminated only by the light of my computer screen. Starnova, new stars, the beginning. No, not a beginning. For better or worse, these girls' lives had already begun long before this unit. I wasn't producing a bunch of fresh-faced middle schoolers with big dreams of becoming Japan's next top idol. Idol, a shining pure white symbol before which men prostrated themselves, untainted, perfect, immortal, unbound by pathetic human needs, a goddess, an icon of purity, an idea, not human, not a girl. The girls before me were anything but that. They were broken, cracked, and by the various industry they chose to enter. Maybe once upon a time there were innocent young girls who thought their stories would end up with a happy concert in front of thousands of adoring fans. But the reality was the dream only had happened to the luckiest 0.01% of girls who entered this industry. Or maybe the only 0.1% most ruthless percent. Maybe the dream never existed at all. One day, every kid had to realize that the world wasn't fair. You're not that star of your own story. Life has no moral or point. It was just this long struggle to survive until you eventually got old and died. Dude, I feel like the writer is like some kind of philosophical guy who, like, people said, you're a philosopher. Let's write this. Just write this script for us. Write this whole story. The door cracked open, interrupting my thoughts. Sasami. Producer? Shizamaki-san? She stood before me in the darkness. I need your help. What is it? It's Julia-chan. I let out a sigh. So Sasami was here to play a hero. I knew I was about to get wrapped into something I would regret getting involved in. Shimazaki-chan. San. I want you to think about the implications of what you're in here and what it could do to Watabe-san if we were to take actions. If you leave now, I'll carry on with my work as if this conversation never happened. Starnova will continue as planned. No. The girl's sudden shut took me aback. Mr. Producer, aren't some things more important than getting famous or shining on a stage? I know you think so too because of what you did that day. What was this girl thinking? She was never going to become an idol with this kind of half-hearted dedication. Like I said, only shredded and ruthless survive in this industry. No wonder this lamp was dying here, instead of still at the Golden Calf climbing her way to stardom. I looked down on myself. Here I was too, adrift on the same boat. Alright, let's go. Mr. Producer. Okay. I walked out into the bustling pleasure district with Sasami. As usual, the streets were adorned with bright lights and bustling with Tokyoites. A flood of salarymen, coupled and single men looking to become coupled, steadily flowed into the countless bars lining the street. What was I doing? It was just my second day as a producer, but here I was already getting myself into exactly the sort of trouble I wanted to avoid. We're going on a small date. Wink wink. Nah, just kidding. She's been going for this for a while. Every night, around this time, she picks someone up here. I bent down and whispered to her, "What are you doing? Don't you know how much trouble this will make for Watanabe? Was this girl really here to help Julia, or was she just trying to bring about a rival's fall?" Of course, countless aspiring idols would eagerly turn to their teammates without a second thought if it meant that they could gain some kind of an advantage. However, I got the impression that Sasami was not that kind of personality. Okay, we're actually here to help, not going on a date. I had too high hopes. Producer-san, I know you're a good person. What Julie-chan is doing is dangerous. You should know. You've got to help her, just like you helped me. I rubbed my brow in frustration. I couldn't believe this girl decided to trust me so easily. She thinks I'm going to help Julia? What naivety was this? Finally, she spotted Julia standing below at the street lamp, who was covered behind a bench and observed the situation. Due to the flood of people walking through the walkway, the likelihood of Julia detecting us was minimal. A short time later, I saw a salaryman approach Julia and discreetly flip her an envelope. Julia put out its contents and concluded the bills. Upon confirming payment, her personality changed in an instant. She swapped her arms around the salaryman's arms and smiled and walked him down on the street. Come on, Mr. Producer, we have to follow her. Sasami took off and tailed the pair with an enormous sigh. I took off after them. No, if I didn't know you better, I would have thought you brought me here just to take out a rival. What do you mean? Isn't it obvious I already have enough evidence to kick Julia out for the agency and probably sue her for punitive and liquidated damages to boot? She committed serious fraud against the company. Susan, I know you wouldn't do that. Shouldn't you help her instead, so that she becomes an idol, instead of falling into something a lot more dangerous? Look here, I'm an idol producer, not a priest. I got so into my speech that I nearly walked into an incoming pedestrian. I spun out of the way and resumed my talk. My duty is to the company. If a girl brings risk, then it's my job to cut out the liabilities. Producer Sam. I looked ahead to see Julia laughing and nodding at everything the date was saying. He reached into his coat and withdrew a present, which Julia accepted with delight. I shook my head, and from now on the looks of it, it's her mark that's a whole lot of trouble in her. What do you mean? Look. Julia looked at her watch. Oh, looks like the initial time's up. Already? But I can do just 500 yen to hold hands, or for a full 1,000, I would put Oni-chan's arm up against her chest. For real? Then the 100,000, please. The poor sap handed a 1,000 yen bill. Julie pocketed all smiles. Yeah, I mean, Emilia Tan's so happy. She took his arm and held it warmly against her side, giving him a moment's side boob service. Before he could even react, Julia rushed him along. He's a total sucker tonight. I'm gonna make quite a bit off of him. I rubbed my face in dismay. What was this sad sight? I was dragged out under the pretensions of saving some poor girl from accidentally falling into the clothes of the human traffic industry. But instead I come out here to see her fleecing this poor man's paycheck dry, using nothing but smiles and sweet nothings. Clearly this world was a complicated place where the shrewd prey the cruelable regardless of gender. I better start documenting all of this so that the ensuing termination of employment goes as smoothly as possible. Julia stopped in front of a high-caliber French restaurant with her mark. Hey, this much isn't important of a problem for Oni-chan, is it? Oh, look, those prices, I see, so it's too much. Julie disconnected herself from him and pouted. Just, I can't be helped then. She looked a step backwards, threatening to dissolve into the crowd. Of course, Oni-chans can pay for it. What do you think I am? This much is a piece of cake. Really? Alright. Julie rushed forward and wrapped herself around him again. One of two entered the restaurant and sat down at a booth. Shortly afterward, the waiter delivered a basket of sliced baguette. Holy shit, she wants to take everything that guy has. Holy fuck. Poor little man only wants to find some love, and then a girl's abusing that shit. As much as possible. Hey, Oni-chan, for just 500 yen, Emilia-tan will feed him the bread. She will? Alright. He's not even asking questions anymore. With the passage of a coin, Julie picks up a slice of bread. Say, But seriously, clever girl. Using small but frequent microtransactions to make every interaction look cheap, but still racking up an impressive combined earning. Shit, she's probably taking home more than I can do for my job. I think people are actually dumb enough to fall for tricks like this. I can't believe it. I shook my head as the fog state went on, despite the state of society bubbling inside of me. Finally, the two of them finished their dinner and left the restaurant. Despite his monthly paycheck, Damn! Wait, I can go back, right? There should be a back button. I guess it's time to call it a night. Really? But it's so early. I know. For 2,000 yen, I give Oni-chan a goodbye kiss. But since I had such a great time, I'll give a 25% discount. A kiss? A real kiss? What, do you never been kissed by a girl before? What a hopeless Oni-chan. Would Emilia-tan be his first kiss? The poor sap literally went into red. It really went red in the face. Unbelievable, literally unbelievable. This was the state of men in this country. Alright, if Emilia-tan's alright with it, then it's only natural that they would end up with a kiss. Alright. The idiot eagerly opened his wallet and gave Julia 2,000 yen bills, completely forgetting about the aforementioned discount. As soon as the bills passed into Julia's pocket, she leaned in and gave him a swift peck beside his lips, more akin to a goodnight kiss given by a mother to a daughter than the romantic makeout sessions you've seen in Western movies. Feels bad, man. While he was still dazzled by prospect of being kissed by a stunning girl like Julia, she leaped away and disengaged, the deed already finished. Then I'll see you. It's over, but wait. You know how to call me. With that, Julia vanished into the crowd. I can't wait until next time. Now, penniless man sighed and his wallet was as empty as the countess of the bed. Julia countered her earnings like a satisfied wolf that had just devoured a lamb. Koof, that guy was a total pushover. Now into the next client, the night's still young and the more lonely otaku to fleece. I stood before Julie, both my hands on my hips, with Sasami nervously hiding behind me. Producer-san? And Sasa-chan too? Julia looked nervously around for an escape path. Don't try to put anything, I already saw everything. Shit! Well, it's not a big problem, is it? What was the big deal anyways? What I'm doing isn't that different from idol work in the first place. I let guys imagine I'm going out with them, and they pay me. It's not any different from working at a maze cafe or a hostess bar. Listen, you've got to disqualify yourself from ever becoming an idol. I'm going to be back to the office and drafting your termination notice. Fine. I admit it. You caught me red-handed, producer-san. Look, like I'm totally under your authority here. So what? Do you want me to make this disappear? Disappear? Oh, Level with me, producer Sam. There's nothing in the world that can be solved by exchange of a favor for a favor, right? I shook my head. Having witnessed the way she operated firsthand, I wasn't about to fall for her tricks. Hey, look here. Stop it! This isn't just going to disappear, it's going to haunt your career for as long as you're an idol. One day... Stop it! The sight of Sasami on the verge of tears put a damper on my anger. What a fiasco. I should have just kept my nose out of this. But now that all this had happened, I had to act on behalf of the company. There wasn't much I could do anyways. Anyways, that's that. Since this happened so soon, the company won't press for damages or anything, but there's no way we're going to let you work at Shining Productions at this rate. Before the girls could protest, I decided to beat a harsh, hasty retreat. It's not my fault things ended up this way. I wasn't the guy who thought up the rules. None of this was my problem. With those thoughts justifying my actions, I returned home for the night. February 3rd, 2017, morning. And yet, despite what happened the previous night... Producer-san! What was this girl still doing here? She sure had a lot of gall to show up her face again after everything went down. You... What? It's not like I'm fired yet! Besides, you sure took up a hurry yesterday night. We couldn't even finish talking. Just what more was there to talk about? I haven't changed my mind. I'm still open to doing anything to make the last night disappear from your memory. Please don't say things which can be misinterpreted so easily. What's the problem? Stuff like this is only natural for an idol management company. You know the saying, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So what do you say, producer-san? Why don't you put this unworldly idol in her place? Holy shit! What the hell of an idol Nuki scenario was she trying to set up here? I once again rubbed my face in expiration. I'm not going to be one of your toys. I'm an idol producer, not some lazy IV pimp. You're still a man, aren't you? I'll give you the full course treatment. The whole night, all for you. And of course, totally complimentary for you, producer-san. Was this girl for real? Just offering herself off like that? Julia leaned into me, just close enough for her scent to melt through my senses. Of course, even I had to admit that everything physical about Julia was absolutely stunning. It must be the way Japanese blood calls about foreign DNA or something. Because her face was the best of idol Hollywood and Harajuki. Wait, shit, what was I thinking? Aren't you a little curious to get to know your idol better, producer-san? Julia grinned softly, her lips slightly parted. I blinked and tore my eyes away, lest they drowned in the azure sea glimmering beyond her eyes. But my mind was already racing. It was only my third day, and one of my idols was already trying to seduce me. What the hell was I gotten myself into? I gulped and held back the various fantasies playing around with in the back of my head. Well, if you insist, I guess there's no harm in accepting. But you're still wasting your time because a deal's a deal. Alright. Julie broke down with a grin. Suddenly guilt bit into my chest that I had to fire her when she was so happy. Wait, why was I the one feeling guilty? Not like I've done anything wrong. Love a girl, but my duty was to the company. There was no way I'd let her lose a woman like her into Starnova. After all, I still had my dream, to create the greatest idol group of all time. I shook my head and returned to work as Julia discreetly trapped her cell against mine. Then I'll be seeing you later, producer-san. I shrugged, trying my best to look up completely unexcited about her offer. We're going on a date, boys. See, good stuff. Night came, and right on cue, my cell beeped. I'm under the usual street lamp. Can't wait to get to know you, my new producer. Love. Well, if she wasn't going to charge me, I guess I had nothing to lose. I met Julie at the appointment place. You came after all, producer-san. UI. Let's take a screenshot for our thumbnail. Wait, what the fuck? There we go. Okay, screenshot is taken. You so came after all, producer Sam. Before I could react, Julie wrapped herself around my arm. Well, I'm still not going to change my mind though. Alright, alright. We walked through the crowded street, Julie changing my arm like a love-struck schoolgirl. Hey, producer Sam, so what kind of girls do you like? What? Well, you became a producer because you wanted to be surrounded by pretty girls, right? Is there any particular type you fancy? Make it sound like you're any horny guy can become a producer. Listen, pretty girls are neat and all, but you're not going to get far in the business if you're just a dumb animal. Talents are like products. You fashion them to appeal to a certain demand, and if you've done your homework, then you end up with a hit. Otherwise, both the talent and the producer are going to get out of a job. Well, I agree completely. You're just saying that, aren't you? No, you're totally right. You see, when you're working in the streets, you size up your client and instant you get the call. Nowadays, all it takes is a quick web search to figure out what a guy's into. And when it's go time, all you gotta do is play to his weaknesses. It's pretty easy money actually. If you screen all the creepies out and stick with lonely pushovers. Has anyone told you that you're a terrible person? What? You said it yourself. Being an idol, it's not that much of a difference. But you're not supposed to laugh at your fans if you're an idol. You're really enjoying this, don't you? Messing with guys' heads, having the frown over you. Well, what kind of idol doesn't want to have a legion of guys drooling over her? Besides, my looks are the one thing I'm confident about. Does that mean you're not confident about your other things about yourself? But I didn't bring it to you here to bore you with all the talk about work. Come on, let's have some fun. Julie led me into a western-styled bar. I like how the haircut's out here. Is it like how it's supposed to be? It's very from cut. They could have made it a side cut, like this. Just looking at the art bit. Is this normal? You know, is this how physics work? Whatever. Japanese places usually only serve water down as well. Hope you can handle America, producer Sam. This is still Japan. Besides, men's bodies can hold more alcohol. Hey, then let's get 2 shots of this. 120 proof. This little girl thinks she can handle this? Well, I wasn't about to stand down from a challenge. The bartender poured a neon red liquor into 2 shots glasses after I paid for the order. Ah, like this. Julia held up her shot glass and intertwined her arm with a mind so that she would be the one pouring the shot into my mouth while I would be the one pouring it into hers. All in one take. Cheers. Cheers. Julia sank the whole shot down my mouth. The taste of cherries masked the shot's most likely rancid flower. After settling in, my stomach warmth remained in my throat like all strong liquor. Julia eyed me with a mischievous smirk. First time you've taken a shot like that? I didn't particularly feel like answering her question. Julia sneered as if my silence was tantamount to admission. Hey producer, have you ever had a girlfriend before? Aren't you the one in hot water here? Sorry. Well, I'm here for you. Julie leaned over and rubbed my back. Hey, I think we're gonna need 2 more of those shots. Bartender! She looks very drunk now. I mean, she has the drunky face. The subject of Julie's termination became an increasingly distant memory as the ethanol-infused night went on. For some reason, Julie kept bringing more drinks into the table. Normally, I would have been dubious about her intentions, but the free drinks lifted all the stress from my shoulders. Several interestingly colored drinks vanished as my mind flavored far away to a happier place. Hey, producer-san! Are you still all there? With my worries gone, a sense of clarity came over me. I understood it now. In the end, all men weren't lonely. We knew that our 2D waifus were fake and that we could never go out with 3D idols. My 2D waifu doesn't exist. No. I cry a lot, and I'm also very itchy for some reason. Well, but we still wanted to clinch into the belief. If we just sprayed enough money into our hopes and dreams, maybe we could keep the illusion of going for but a beat longer. Alas, we knew it was to be a lie. But such a beautiful lie it was indeed. A lie worth becoming broke over. A lie worth jumping into a bed of proverbial spikes over. A lie worth to buy your statues over. I love you, Ramchan, you're not fake. I'm just kidding. Damn. This visual novel gonna make me cry, man. That's the nature of this idol business, huh? All but the pursuit of an ideal.
Fantastic, baby.
I just got a message. Sorry, guys. Let me turn off the phone. All but the pursuit of an ideal which cannot exist. What are you saying? I don't get it. Reality is a bitter thing. As a satisfactory state of inhibition, I stood from my seat. Eh? Finished? Yeah. Then, quite a few Julies approached me. I vaguely felt the sensation of being let out of the bar. The fresh air outside returned, a modicum of lucidity to my senses. Somehow, the chilly winter air no longer felt as sharp against my face. Anyways, what a strange turn of events. What was this S-tier girl doing? Lynching to my arm like that's some kind of hotshot idol executive. Honestly, I was doing a loss as to what to do. In the end, I was just an unknown producer and an unknown talent agency. In other words, I was pretty much a nobody. I should have never have gotten involved into this mess. This was exactly the sort of trouble I didn't want to deal with. He's gotten pretty drunk. With just a little more, he have forgotten all about firing me. Alright, it's time to close the deal. Dude, girl, I'm in a emotional dilemma here. Not forgotten about what happened. Hey, producer-san, don't you think we should wander down the street looking like this? Eh? Isn't this kind of a compromising situation? A young idol and her producer doing something like this so late? Shit. Now that I think about that, it was a pretty bad situation. If a word got out about this, I could be the one getting sacked. Well, I'm sure it's alright if we don't make a scene or anything. I doubt anyone even will notice us. Besides, it's not like we're famous or anything. We don't have paparazzi pinging us trying to sneak photographs. Oh, I see. Julia pulled out her cell. I'm a mentor for a night. Jeez. Oh, we're gonna regret this. I mean, I'm gonna regret this. I don't know about her, but I'm like the producer. Is the producer me or am I not the producer? Let's just say I'm the producer. I'm gonna fucking regret this. I swear to God. She non-shyly snapped a selfie. So basically, we can do whatever we want right now because we're not in the public spotlight, right? Well, I guess that's right. If we kissed here, I wonder if anyone would even notice. Oh, well, what are you saying? Julia tightened her grip, sinking my arm into her breast. She bit her lower lip as her boobs squeezed together. Unconsciously gulped as Julia electrocuted my lions with a rigged wink. Danger, producer-san! Just kidding! She loosened her grip. Relax, producer-san. It's just a little off the record fun. As long as everything stays off the record, what's the problem? People do all sorts of stuff in the dark. They need a release, you know? Why drag that stuff into the public when it can all disappear with the night? Well... But I won't cause any more trouble for producer-san. I'll stop hanging out with other guys and devote myself to becoming a proper idol from now. Of course, I can still make an exception for you, producer-san. It's always a pain whenever you want to kick a talent out. Times have changed and people have started asking questions. Just think of all the trouble in the mass media lately. She was right. I didn't even want to touch that issue with the 3-meter-long pole. It'd be a lot easier for both of us if last night were to just disappear, huh? Damn, she's convincing. She's convincing, honestly. In the end, I went home having decided that if Julie deleted everything related to her nighttime activities of net and dedicated herself to becoming an idol, I would forget about the incident. Huh. Not like I caught her taking the walk of shame out of the apartment of some boy band's lead guitarist. I'm sure nobody would ever know of Julie's secret history if I didn't make a big deal out of it, probably. Anyway, I wasn't going to make a mountain out of a molehill by treating her little side job as anything bigger than it actually was. I'm gonna forget about this and move on. It wasn't until a great deal of time had passed that I realized just how much Julie had played me. But how much great time have passed? Are we talking about like, am I like in the future? Have like this whole story ended, and am I like going back to it, sort of like reflecting over what happened and talking about what happened, like the text here, or is it this day that I'm talking about? It's a little bit hard to know. I can only think. Oh, good morning, producer-san. Oh, good morning. It's just the usual lesson today. Julia went downstairs with a smile. Sasami poked her head out from the break room. I don't really know what happened, but it looks like things turned out to be alright with Julia-chan. It's still going too soon. Whatever things worked out or not, but we've come to a truce of some sort. She's still dangerous though. Girls like her bring risk an idol group. We might be unknown right now, but since Starnova properly debuts, everyone will be expected to accompany with a code of conduct. There won't be any second chances for her. Make sure she keeps her end of the bargain. Of course, producer-san. Aiki poked her face out from behind the whiteboard. Something reeks of fishiness. What? Natan sniffed her armpit, wondering if Aiki was talking about her. Not you. I mean them. I suppose Sasa-chan finally accepted Pikun's feelings. What are you talking about? I bet Pikun resigned his job at Golden Gold to follow Sasa-chan there. It's a secret love between an idol and her producer. Listen there. First, it's Golden Calf, and the second, I heard the producer was actually sacked. Honestly, the whole thing's strange all over. And for them to be suddenly getting along so well, the day before yesterday, Sasa-chan could hardly bear him to look in the eye. Hey, what's your relationship with the producer anyways? Relationship? Ah, like you did your folks set up with a marriage with him or something. Shut up, you pumpkin. It's obvious it's not that. I used to work with him, right? You used to work with him, right? Just how did the two of you end up here when you were assigned with a golden calf? Well, actually, I never even spoke to the producer while we were at the Golden Calf. It's a big agency spread all over 15 floors on a skyscraper, so even if we both worked at the same place, the chances of our actually crossing paths were small. Listen here, it's obvious there's something going between the two of you, and yet you expect us to believe that you haven't even spoken to each other before coming here? What? Maybe the other families will be fruiting, so they gotta keep their feelings secret. Forbidden romance. I can't say it's anything quite so dramatic. It's actually, it's more like it saved me from a bad situation. Eh? Can't really talk about it in detail. I own the producer a debt. After all, it's my fault he ended up like this. Eh? I can't hear you. Speak louder. I kinda get it, but I kinda don't. Hey, you two. Give Sasa-chan some room. I'm sure you guys wouldn't appreciate if someone hassled you about your life story. Oh, Maria. You're looking pretty energetic today. Well, I wasn't up all night tending to the middle-aged geezers with marital issues. Sasa-chan, let me give you some advice. I always heard one of two stories from men in the city. Either where they're complaining they don't have a woman, or they're complaining about their woman. They say that on average, a man thinks about sex 4 times a day. And considering how well sex sells nowadays, you'd think the real numbers are even more like 9 or 10 times a day. The real word's dirty, men are horny, and women are dumb. Like, ain't life some shoujo manga? So take your mind off that producer and look out for yourself. Yeah, Maria sure got fooled a good one by a guy during her girlhood, huh? Hey, don't just go writing my backstory by yourself. Anyways, I don't think the producer's like that. I guess it just can't be helped, because your age, look at the world with those instant goggles. The goggles don't crack until you're folded by a few times. Empty laughter echoed inside Maria's chest. It looks like Maria getting flashbacks. Will you just... Nathan leaped away before Maria could whack her on top of the head. Safe! Well, I guess the producer's not too bad. Huh? Maria looked at Julia, shook up upon learning her camp pattern and flipped sides. Don't get the wrong idea. He's probably just a class A loser who got fired from his zero job and washed up here. And I bet there's a stupid version too. And I can totally see him curling up to an Iroge Dakimura every night and repeating to himself that 2D is all he needs. Huh. Oh my god. I love this. I love the writing. Anyways, I doubt he's a player or anything. I guess he's more like just a loser. I don't think he's got the guts to trick us. And it's not like I particularly like him or anything. I'm just saying that... Ara, would it be that Julia-chan's taking a liking him for a producer too? Tsundere mode on! Natsuki jumped up behind Julia and spin her hair into wind tails. I suspected Tsundere needs to blunt wind tails, which a perfect specimen. Don't just toss me into a character archetype. Don't worry, we all need to choose our characters types eventually anyways. Hey you. Maria, hi Julia. Something happened between you and the producer last night, didn't it? Well, not really. What? It's staring at me. Looks like its break time is over. Let's practice. Suspicious. Very suspicious. It's turning into a love nest here. I walked downstairs and entered the dance studio. It's Oni-chan. The girls gathered around me. For once I smiled and delivered the good news. Looks like the date of your debut. Life has been decided. Debut? Life? Mean it's really happening? Alright. Someone pinched my face. This isn't a dream, right? Natsuki chopped Maria on the top of her head. The hell? It's not a dream. You. I showed the girls a flyer for a live house near Akiba. Anisong Night. Local talents sing the latest anime songs March 11. Seeing the flyer somewhere, they flooded the girls' energy. Anisong Fest? I thought you said it was supposed to be your debut live. Well, since it would be too difficult to hold on to our live, the manager of the live house has agreed to let us sing our debut song at the event. Of course, we'll be singing covers of Annie songs as well. I should have known no matter how you look at it. A real debut live is just not in the charts for no-name losers like us, huh? Well, I still think it's a good idea. Since there will be people there for the event, it's not like we have to worry about singing to an empty room. Maria shrugged. Please, anything but that. Speaking from past experiences, the beginning chapter where we worked our asses off for the debut live and finally stand on our first stage only to discover that nobody bothered to show up when the curtain rises is one experience I never want to experience ever again. So something like that has happened in Maria's past, eh? What a tear-filled backstory right out of an idol drama anime. Shut it. Well, all idols must begin somewhere, no? Well, I guess it's not too bad for our first live. Anyways, any songs, huh? Do you have a list of songs you want us to sing? Actually, I thought you girls would have a better idea of what songs are popular right now. I can't say I really know much about anime. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with that fandom either. Nathan knows nothing. It's always the same stuff that's popular, right? How about the Melanoki of Suzu? What era are you from? That shows pretty much ancient history now. No, if you're talking about pandemic sweeping across Japan right now, it's definitely Love. So we're an idol group who sings songs by fictionist, more popular idol groups. Love it. The references to those animes, pretty cool. It's actually a cultural phenomenon, right? What's wrong with it? You have a problem? But I offered a notepad to the girls. Please write a set of list covers for the live. I believe 3 covers should be sufficient. Aki eagerly took the notepad. Okay, don't worry, Oni-chan. Aki-chan's got this. I'll let the guys work out the set list. We have approximately a month until the live. Please mind your lessons carefully in the coming weeks. Okay. The end of the day arrived. I walked downstairs to the studio on a certain matter. Good work, everyone. Good work. The girls had gained a silver motivation thanks to the news of the live. Well, they still had a long way to go. It seemed like they were coalescing into something resembling a unit. With one exception. Mika. I feared Mika was the oddball of the group. Thanks to her one-woman fantasy act, the other girls were maintaining a wide circumference around her. In a way, Chuniba were loners. They were operating on a wavelength with regular people. Out of all the girls, Mika was the most challenging to figure out. Underneath her fake persona, she felt like a little awkward and recluse. What was a girl like that doing trying to become an idol? Mika noticed me watching her. What does the Black Knight wish from this one? I was wondering, you watch the most late-night anime out of the girls here, right? Indeed, I monitor the airwaves of difficulty to learn of the latest type happening throughout the kingdom. Then you could help us with the live. You must already know the latest anime songs by heart. That is... And more importantly, which direction do the crowds fly tonight? If eastwards, it means the Holy Crusade is approaching. We must make haste to prepare defenses. Avoiding the topic, are we? This girl, she was obviously having trouble fitting in with the rest of the group. I had to do something that they could all work together as a team. The Lord of the Night has a mission for you, loudly one. Oh, well, what was I doing? Suddenly I got agonizing flashbacks to my junior high days when I got into anime for the first time. I was such a dumbass those days, marching around school like I was the protagonist of some anime, embarrassing myself in front of all the girls. Gah! Just the thought of all the humiliating things in which my mouth during those years made me cringe hard enough for my teeth to shatter. This one is really both in mind and body. What orders do we carry for the Lord? Was just going to play along with it? I had to push forward. This was for the sake of the unit. But battle looms on the horizon, one which would determine by the fate of the realm. This one's really ready to lay down her life. Then good, for I shall require your services in preparing for that bloody day. You are to prepare songs of the denizens of the late night to rally our warriors, bring them to your fellow bards, and let them into the Enderboar. Understood. Go. Mika axe shattered to pieces as soon as she realized what I was getting at. Unfortunately, that would provide a difficult task. While I am well versed in the songs you seek, I'm afraid I lack other qualifications. In other words, Mika outstretches her arms and opens her palm as if saying, "Just look at me." Years of staying up all night and sleeping in all day, I have made me into what society would call a human failure. No employment, education, or training. And approach the other girls. They shine so bright that my eyes hurt. I speak so fast that I cannot keep up. I only have life experience, but one-on-one conversations at best. Speaking to 6 other girls simultaneously is like playing a nightmare on mode. It's like playing on nightmare mode. It's simply not possible. The other girls shine? I hated to speak poorly of my own talents, but Mika was overestimating her power levels. For all intents and purposes, the other girls were just normies trying to become celebrities, hardly in the industry icons to be dazzling by man. I like that you used the term normie here. Cool. But you wanted to become an idol, right? Isn't that what you were here? Inspired after watching a certain idol anime, I felt motivated to turn my life around by seeking employment in an industry which I was familiar with. But a successful re-entry into society proved more difficult than I anticipated. In short, I am not sure if I am cut out for this line of work. I'm sorry. Mika bowed to me in defeat. Don't talk to me if you were ever handing in your letter of registration. Besides, what was this girl? She went and signed with the talent agency because of anime. Did she even know what she was in for? I signed out, but I could not figure out the stories like this were rampant in the industry. I've sat through quite a few interviews. Some applicants told me they wanted to become an idol because they kept seeing how happy idols were on TV and how they got to wear pretty dresses all the time. Basically, girls signed only on with every mistake notions of what it actually was to be an idol. Not easy becoming an idol. Many girls suffer from and get hurt. It requires devotion, the willingness to get back up after getting pushed down. While many do not make it, I still believe it in something worthwhile. Go me, landing this girl on like this. I guess giving these peep talks was part of my duty as a producer, but I always wondered what I was doing the right thing. Maybe it'd be better if they don't quit now, if dad just doubts. Was it all right to lead these girls on when I fully knew that was most likely awaited them was a life of suffering and failure? Oh, we have been recording for an hour right now. Doubts crept into my mind. I had not stopped these thoughts and I had to dream about the greatest idol. Okay guys, we have recorded for actually an hour? I think we're gonna end it at this. Thank you guys for watching. In the next episode will be... I hope we can get her, get to know her more. I do want to get her know more. And we're gonna continue playing this game as well. Probably tomorrow. Probably coming out a video tomorrow as well. So stay tuned for that. And goodbye. Thanks for watching.